That was former Victorian Premier Joan Kerner singing Joan Jett and the Blackhearts' I Love Rock and Roll on national television. A strange political move that almost ended up winning her the upcoming state election. You may be wondering, how did this happen?
Laughter, action, entertainment. Forget it. You're on the ABC.
The D-Generation's The Late Show was a marvel of genuine Australian comedy. The premise was simple. ABC had commissioned a season of late-night television aimed at a more youthful audience, and what preceded was a collection of truly original work. The cast of exclusively Australian comedy legends like Jane Kennedy, Tony Martin, Rob Sitch, and many others took the common standard upheld by Americans like Johnny Carson and spun the audience into a whirlwind. Rather than the formulaic monologue, guest, musical act, guest, and musical act again that relied on the entertainment value of whoever the producers could book, the team instead sought to craft 60 minutes of new entertainment every Saturday night. Here's a case study. Season 1, Episode 7. This episode features around 18 original sketches, ranging from shifty builders...
We'll never crack. They never crack. No, they warp. Yeah.
Old-timey coffee drinkers...
We know Cole Chisel and my chain gang, no Barnesy solo stuff, and no duets with Tina Turner.
to a Billy Bragg impression.
I think you can tell by the way that I'm singing, I'm not really very happy.
All of this filled with micro cutaways...
With the shape of the ball.
Prop humour... set changes, large costumes,
cholesterol-enriched butter,
and even some improvisation.
Worst hurricane in 50 years. Mind you, that'd have to be the worst graphic in 50 years. God knows where we got that one from.
It's fair to say that the level of comedy output inside the hour was extraordinary. Looking through a modern comedic lens, it is easy to see how audiences have faded in their appreciation for high-budget comedy productions. And though it may not appear on face value, The Late Show is an intelligently crafted piece of art. But why does it try so hard not to be one? Well, to the masterminds behind it, it was simple. Australian comedy has always thrived on the basis of mockery and self-deprecation. Tom O'Regan, a veteran of media studies, when talking about the ochre comedies of the 70s and 80s, humours the irony that given the predominantly university, arts, film society and theatrical backgrounds of the ochre filmmakers, that they focused on a kind of film production which could be simultaneously popular and at the cutting edge of broader cultural movements. The D-Generation is no different. Originally formed as an ensemble of Melbourne University law students, they manoeuvred their way into the broader popular sphere by rerouting the Australian comedic landscape. Whilst maintaining a usual satire on everyday Australian things,
and attempting to kill opposition leader John Hewson. He was given a 2-year jail sentence, suspended on condition he go back and finish the job.
The Late Show insisted upon a youthful voice of well-crafted humour that no longer relied on the traditional drawcards of peace, love and sex, enchanting the voice of the ochre comedies into a more digestible, government-funded package. This style of television comedy was risky, and Matt Toffler assures this in his analysis of Australian TV pilots, that the most common complaint, the most unforgivable thing, is not being funny. The Late Show was no easy sell, both appealing to a popular audience while sustaining nuance in its satirical attacks on leaders, cultural fads, and the network itself.
We're still number 4. We're still number 4.
And could easily come off as overly pretentious. But with the right team behind it, these ingredients ensured its success with Australian audiences, even momentarily breaking the mould of the ABC's famously poor ratings. It took what Andrew Stott identifies as comic characterization and its effective realization with stereotypes, like in the Jeff and Terry Bailey sketch, and enriches its comedic capacity by ensuring the joke was always with them. No matter the material, the cast made sure that they were the ones being ridiculous and childish in the end.
But never have I seen someone's line written on the bread.
The show intends to take the often mean-spirited values of previous Australian comedy iterations and transform the form into a playground of creative expression that isn't bound by the need to play the same character or announce the same catchphrase each week. The Late Show and Working Dog's impact on Australian comedy can never go understated, and it was with their first attempt on the screen did audiences grapple with a new kind of Australian comedy that sought to intellectually dissect and celebrate Australian society rather than demote our culture as something laughable. And after all, comedy is no joking matter.
We'll see you next week for 1 week only at 9:30. See you then.